denied. Access denied.
In everything, we dust ourselves.
We are the majority.
You want to tell me just what we're dealing with here?
If you haven't guessed by now, I'll tell you who we are.
It's me. Hi.
We are the empowered youth.
On air, underground.
And this is our podcast, the EY Podcast.
Turn it up. Let the speakers boom. Go.
I want to recommend very highly Coilib to every youth out there who has an idea that they want to bring on board. This is a place where you'll be incubated, so to say. Irrespective of how rugged you feel your idea is, you come to this place and we will continuously work on you to make sure that the idea that you have is refined and at least you become the person.
Coilib Incuba. Innovate, invest, incubate.
Coilib for my business has really been a point of growth because I've seen my business move from one point to another. And you know, with Coilib, you get to understand the business aspect of it and how to make money.
Coilib Incuba. Innovate, invest, incubate.
We hustle.
We go through.
Access granted.
We win.
We lose.
Access denied. Access denied. Access denied.
In everything, we dust ourselves.
We are the majority.
You want to tell me just what we're dealing with here?
If you haven't guessed by now, I'll tell you who we are.
It's me. Hi.
We are the empowered youth.
On air, underground.
And this is our podcast, the EY Podcast.
Turn it up. Let the speakers boom. Go.
Well, good afternoon. Today, in the big conversation, we are privileged to have, and we are really humbled to have very good, very energetic, and brilliant guests. In the quest to the upcoming election, we have three panelists, the men in the room, the elephants in the room. On my right, Mr. Emmanuel Otieno, a student at Egerton University. We have Polycarp Ooko, and we have Ayub Njuguna. We are going to deliberate, check whether the EWUSA government has really delivered today. And I'll roll it up. Mr. Njuguna, what do you have for us?
Thank you, Mr. Balozi, for inviting me here. I believe EWUSA government has delivered. For us to say someone has performed well in an exam, it's not a must that you score 100%. That is illusional. But for us to, even the best student will never score 100%. But there is what you score and we say, yes, you have done something good. I may say, EWUSA may not have given us 100%, but they have done the greater part. I would rate them at a B, maybe 65%. Thank you.
Mr. Polycarp.
Yes, thank you. As per my fellow here, just say that there's something that has been done, though not 100%, but there's something. So maybe I don't know if the questions will come after. Okay, but I have very many things for the guy. Hope he will answer. Yeah.
Wow, it's getting hotter. Mr. Emmanuel, what do you have for us?
Okay, thank you so much. I'm Emmanuel Otieno, and I'm more privileged to be here. And I will start by just appreciating the government of Kenya for the good work they are doing to ensure that they are doing anything possible to ensure that students of Kenya get quality education in various universities. And I also want to thank the administration of Egerton for doing excellent work and ensuring that everything is in place to ensure that Egerton students become sufficient and efficient in everything they are doing. And the main question now that I'll be asking myself through this discussion, what the leaders did for this objective of the national government and the objective of Egerton administration to be achieved.
Wow, let's set this rolling. We know we have the EUSA government, and I'll straight begin issue welfare. We know we have the director welfare. She has her roles, her mandates as per the constitution. She promised some things in the manifesto. We know she has delivered. We know she hasn't. The question is here, and today we are here to justify all this. The director welfare, to some point, we do believe she has her roles. She won. And do we believe there is a sense she has really enhanced a sense in community and belonging among the students in the institution as the director of welfare?
Okay. Balozi, as I said, the best student will never get 100%, and the failure to get 100% doesn't mean you haven't performed. Towards the end of last year, as the semester was ending, you would see people getting meal cards. You have seen needy students are getting bursaries and work studies. What else do these students want to tell us our EUSA director welfare is not doing? I believe by, EUSA is also not Red Cross. EUSA is not a charitable organization. EUSA will not come start buying clothes for people. EUSA will not start giving you food at the first week of your semester, Balozi. There is also what you should do as per yourself. Then EUSA will come when you are at the edge, so that they can save you, so that you can get done with your semester. So I believe the director welfare is doing well, and I would rate her also to be above average. Yes.
Mr. Polycarp, what's your take?
Yes, thank you. My fellow has just said that he has mentioned about the meal cards and the work study. Let me dwell on those. I have some question for him about the meal cards. There are some leaders in the institution whom this time for meal cards, for them to give out the meal cards to the students, to the needy students, I think some of them told the students to write a letter so as to acquire this meal card. So I don't know if this thing is from the institution or this thing is just from the EUSA itself. Yeah. About the work study, the last lot of the work study have not been paid. Yet there's another lot which was just picked the other day. So I don't know, how are you going to do this?
Really, Mr. Polycarp, I was seeking clarity on your second statement. You said that one student leader issued an instruction to one student to write a letter to him for him to disburse meal cards to him. Do you have clarity on this?
Yeah, I have clarity. I think the Congress Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. Yeah, the student who was involved in this was he goes by the name Benjamin, something of such kind. Yeah, so you find that this is a needy student who he elected his leader, knowing that this person at least will share the grievances up there. Then, when it comes to the time for deliverance, letter, meal card, and letter. How does these things go? I don't understand.
Oh, let's get Mr. Manuel shedding light on that as a political analyst. Will you kindly inform us on the ways or the procedure that we people or the leaders need to disseminate meal cards to their members? Issuing your own remarks and insights too.
Okay, thank you. I will first give my remarks because it's form of a question that I will need to clarify before my other colleague also clarify for Meusa. My remarks in terms of welfare in general, I will say that my counterpart have said that they haven't done 100%, and he can give 65%. And one thing I want to confirm to Egerton students is that Egerton leaders of this academic year, all that they did were not observable. And I will justify that. Most of the things they did was indoors. And this is a threat to students. Why am I saying this? I want to give you some observable things. Throughout this discussion, I want to base my discussion on what they did, because they did many. But I want to give what they did do that will make them or their tender to be rendered as failed. One of them is, if I give example from the welfare base, is that Egerton University is doing everything possible to ensure they nurture talents. Let's talk of that, because it's part of welfare. And to ensure this, we have pitch for every game, for example. The last year, our swimming pool is active. And the question is there any program that have been rolled out for students to go and swim there? Do we expect as students, do you want now the administration to give us that procedure? Or is our leaders now to come up with a procedure on how we are using them? That's one. Two, when you look at our students, many students have been involved in football. When you go to pavilion when it's raining, students are playing there. They just want to showcase their talent. But unfortunately, they are not getting any support from the leaders. And I can't say we need to request this from the administration. It's our leaders who need to come up with a plan on how they can support these talents. But it's totally zero. If I give an example of the Congress from Faculty of Arts, he used to be a member of Taekwondo before he was elected as a Congress. I don't know if after election he get out of that group, because nowadays I don't know even if that group exists. But I thought the moment he was elected to be a leader there, he could have used that position to ensure that he and his group go to another level. If I give you an example of director welfare, there is no any graduation in this university that will happen without his group presenting. The reason? Because of that influence, his group always get chance. And my question to this leadership, why didn't they perform anything to help the students who are doing those things? And now if I answer the question of meal cards, my friend have said about the letter. If I give an example of my case, personally, there was a time, it's so painful, although during the last academic year, a student fainted in his room at Buruburu at night. At night, he was taken to sanatorium. That is the other academic year. When he was taken to sanatorium, they thought that he has epilepsy, although they did all the tests, but it was negative. But he told me that, Manuel, you know what, I haven't eaten for 2 weeks. I called the SecGen by then, that is Beth, and I told Beth ABCD is happening. We walked through with the student, and we secure a chance for him to work at mess. But now, how do I connect this to meal card? Later on, through me as a class rep, now this student got a meal card, and at least it's being helped. When you look at the meal card of this time, they say they're not going to use the class rep, but they're going, because they said the class rep are influencing others through meal cards.
Do you have any evidence about your allegation?
Yes. I think through him, I was able to know resource department, human resource department, because I was told for him to work at MESS, I must go there. Through him, I get in contact with the manager of MESS. Through him, I went to Dean's office. Through him, I get so many connections in these offices so that we help the students. But this year,
the division, the way they give out milk card, they decide they are going to use their own people, the leaders themselves. And that's why I think now the leader wanted to really confirm that this student is needy, and that's why he had to write a letter. Thank you. But what I know with this leadership, the mistake they made is whatever we were going to complain about to them, they never did anything wrong. But the wrong they did is failing to do what they are supposed to do.
Mr. Ayub, how will you defend? There are many arising issues in the issue welfare. We have meal cards, we have letters. You, as Mr. Ayub, is there any process or any form that you should use to acquire these? He's speaking about the pitch. Students performing talented and lacking support. What do you have for this?
One, I would like also to meet the student that Emmanuel saw, who spent 2 weeks without a meal. He can also train me so that I can be taking a meal after 2 weeks. It would also be a good strategy to budget my money. I think Polycarp should be grateful because we have an administration that want to ensure milk cards are only to the hearts of those who are needy. We have administrations before in EUSA who were ditching the milk cards to their girlfriend. Now we have an administration that want to take you to a very strict scrutiny to ensure that whoever gets the milk card is the student who is needy. I think that should be applied to this government, Balozi. Two, I would wish that we attack EUSA or we should gauge them.
So just to see clarity, I mean the first Congress asking him to write a letter to him should be a plus, because it's just another form. Either he will have asked orally, but this is another form of asking for the milk card through a letter. But I think there are still forms of asking.
He didn't say the Congress did ask any coin from that man.
But I said that.
He did ask money from that person to get a milk card, or he said the boy should write a letter to get the milk card.
He told the boy to write a letter to get the milk card.
A letter?
Yeah.
Good. That's what I'm saying should be applied to this government. Because, you know, Balozi, when you are writing that letter, it means we want a strict scrutiny to ensure that you are truly needy when we are giving you that milk card. Because you have seen instances there before, people are using milk card to go and buy a soda in the school mess. A soda, as per me, is something luxurious. That's not a basic need. We want to give milk cards to those people who are needy. Two, about the pitch. EUSA does not have the budget of repairing the pitch. What we can do, EUSA, the director co-curricular activities and the EUSA Sports Congress may channel those charges to the relevant authorities, but EUSA don't have the budget of repairing the field.
Okay, if I take it from that point, I'm not talking about challenges at the pitch. There is bad pitch. Administration is doing good work. Our pitch are good. They are cutting grass on time. The problem is now us, the students. We want to be motivated to go to pavilion every morning, every evening to run. Who will motivate us? It is our leaders to come with a plan. We do say, and I want to give an example. During this year, many students went home because it was a policy, meaning it came from above. And now, what if also us from the ground, in our EUSA parliament, we come with a policy as EUSA organization that we want that in our EPL, the first group, the first team to be given a ball and a jersey only. And then we also have a budget as EUSA. And then we say that we want our teams, the best team to be given, the best team in the league to be given a jersey, number 2 to be given a ball only. And then for the championship, number 1 to be given a ball only. It's in terms of cash. This is thing that EUSA can organize, but they fail to do it. When it comes about the issue of Milka, they say that this person needed to write a letter and it's applied to the government to confirm that indeed he really needed it, which is true. And it's raised another question. And the question is, if these people were serious, they were serious, by now, anytime I get to an office as a leader, I need to know the list of the most needy student in my faculty. There's no way I'm a Congress and I don't know who is needy in my faculty. I will have failed, and I've said the Congress has failed. It means that when I go there as a leader, I need to analyze my people from every class with the use of class rep. It's unfortunate that now the class rep are not being taken into consideration, but they need to know through the class. The moment I get to that office, I know that in my faculty, I have 100 people that really need help. When the bursary comes, they are the first people I need to fight for. When the issue of meal comes, they are the first 100 I need to fight for. When we have this structure, I won't need a letter to confirm who is needy. Thank you.
So confirming about the same, he's saying about the letter. So to mean, you said it's a plus to the Congress. So he's the only one who has worked. The rest have failed.
No, you know, in every Congress, we have a procedure in which he believes in him or herself that this is the way that I'm going to ensure the mail card is not going to go to the wrong hand. So if the first Congress, and I congratulate Mr. Steve Owino for doing that, it means he truly meant the mail card should not go to the wrong hand. Maybe another Congress had another procedure, which we don't know. But I believe it is from the sincerity of the same. Someone asking who is going to motivate people to go to the field. If you don't want to go to the field, stay in your room.
No, that can be wrong from leaders. A leader cannot tell students that if you want to play, go to the field. No. I must give you a reason for you to go to the pitch. If you go, what I love with these people, for sure. Right now, when you go to, I've been to Pavilion every weekend. Their coaches are telling them that don't drink alcohol on Friday. We are playing. Every evening they are on the pitch. It means the issue of drugs have been dealt with. The issue of high pregnancy have been dealt with because these boys are always in the pitch. So it means now, because we have seen the benefit of these, as leaders, we have said, hey, by the way, because these boys are really engaged, then we want them more. Because sometimes, I want to tell you, I'm going to the pitch, I'm getting nothing from it, nikumia, napelekwa sanatorium. But if we have something, I want to tell you, these people are really out. And if I give an example, during the games that were here, the university games, if you look at how Egerton team played, I want to confirm that Egerton teams that are not part of who was not selected to play that day are playing better. So the moment the leaders, this is the role of leaders, even if Juguna is not going to agree with me, it's leaders to come out of the structure. I'm talking about the structure. I don't know how the structure can be. I'm talking about the structure, how they can help this student, not only about that. If I give example of swimming, Juguna, I have a certificate of swimming. When I was coming here, I knew I'm going to swim. Unfortunately, it happened that way. When it was open, when I came back last semester and it was open, I was the first one in the swimming pool. And I asked them, and they told me right now, Els were the only people in the school, and they told me they are going to give you information on how people are going to swim there. Up to date, I'm talking to you. That swimming pool is there, students are not swimming, meaning that the administration have done their part perfectly. The only part we are lacking there is now the students, our leaders, to chip in and say that, okay, we want our students to swim here this way, and this way. And if I finish with the issue of the welfare again, I want to confirm to you that the student whom I told you that fainted, and after all the help, that year, he got a USA bursary, and everything went well. That student at one point deferred because second semester, we all agree that in second semester, most students don't defer. But that student deferred on his 1 year, 1.2, because he couldn't pay 8,000 shillings. To my surprise, this year, he never gotten a USA bursary.
Mr. Dickens.
Mr. Emmanuel, the student deferred because he couldn't pay a USA bursary. You have the facts.
The fee, yeah.
The fee. You have the facts.
Exactly.
What did you do to help him maybe manage?
When he deferred, this student used to live in Buruburu. I've been a class from year 1. These students used to live in Buruburu. And then, because of the issues, because he's for my class, I identified the student, and now he used to come to CBD. We eat kangumus there with him. After that, After eating gumu with the student, we later realized that the student have issues. He never told me about deferring. I realized later that unajua nini nimedefer kwa sababu ya 8K. Okay, that's how I know the student first. After that is now I started these issues on how to get the bursary Nikam take through. And then after that I went to gate. I defer. Once he deferred, I went to live at gate. When he came back next semester, he went to Buruburu, I was in gate, meaning we were not in close contact.
Okay.
In the process, he fainted and all that happened.
Meanwhile, we are getting back to you. Let us hear insights about Mr. Polycarp.
Yes, Mr. Dickens. I want to clarify something on the sports. Yeah, you know I'm one of the players there. I play football. So, Mr. Dickens, it's very tough there. Yeah, because you find that these same players, the students, are the one who raise funds for the balls, jerseys, and everything. Then there's something that happened that I was not very pleased. You find that there are some students, this time of issuing meal cards, we have some players who are needy. Yeah, so you find that this guy, he had nothing for breakfast, he had nothing for lunch. Then in the evening, he's there training. You know, even you can't do that without eating anything. Yeah, so I think this is where EUSA, should come in. And then, when the semester was beginning, we were contributing some cash for the first aid kits. Yet we have sanatorium in the school, because we get injuries. You know, it always comes as an accident. Yeah, we are not planning, or no one plans to have injuries in the field playing, but we do get injuries. We have nothing. We don't have the first aid equipment. So it's upon us, the players, students, including these needy students. It is upon us to contribute something, to channel our funds, to buy these things. Yet we have the health equipments in the institution.
To mean new people still lack the equipments.
We still lack them.
Yet you've contributed money by yourself to have them.
It's not, okay, the money has been contributed, yet some has contributed, some has not, so the money is still, it's not enough. Yeah, the money is still not enough.
Mr. Njuguna, you have to.
Yes, one, I would wish that, I'm a linguist by the way, and as a linguist, if there is something I respect, is turn-taking in our conversation. So when it is my time to speak, I wish that everyone would be cool so that I complete my sentiment, then this next person takes over. I first want to comment on the swimming pool. Ignorance is very bad. The director, Gender and Co-Curricular Activities, Mr. Patrick Njuguna, gave a memo on how you should register with the department if you want to swim. Because a swimming pool, you can't just leave it that anybody who come and who feels I want to go and swim, you come with your gumboots and enter in that water. There must be restrictions, there must be order. So I'm sorry that Emmanuel didn't get that information, but there is a procedure that you should follow. The next thing on games, I still repeat, you don't need to be motivated. Balozi, you are a student in media. Nobody will pull you from your room to go and start practicing your profession. It is for your own good. I'm a student of literature. I will not say the Congress first should come and motivate me to start writing poems or to write a novel. It is to my benefit. And this is the problem of ignorance that is with students of Egerton University. What you are doing today is for your own good. It is not for the good of the EUSA president. Since primary school, you have been told about your future. High school, you are told about your future. Now this is your future. This is your future. So nobody is going to motivate you to come and play football. What we should be arguing on is making it better for you as you play that football. What Mr. Polycarp is raising as a concern, I wish they would do a written letter to the co-curricular director so that he can have it to forward it to the relevant department. Because now also the problem with some of us is that whoever we raise our concerns to, we may complain in WhatsApp groups,
but the intended or the target audience of our complaint is he or she in that group, that raises the question, right? We might be complaining in our football groups, but we need this information to get it to whom it should be. Thank you.
Emmanuel, I'm seeing you have something about.
Okay, thank you. My brother have said a very good word, that there was a memo that was given out about how swimming should be. So I don't know when this memo was given. You have said I never saw it, but let's assume I never saw it. If it was there, that is, then it means that something should be happening in our swimming pool, if that memo was there. But right now, the swimming pool is not working. People are not, it's working, but people are not swimming. So you can't justify that. And I won't dwell much into that because I made my submission, and now I want to give another point, because I said I will only talk on what they fail to do that will make me say they failed. Another area is this leadership. They are supposed sometimes to take some things from the ground to be implemented above. I want to give you an example. Is there any course in Egerton University that is being taught throughout without group discussion? Group discussion is a method of teaching that is being implemented in almost all courses. But if I ask now, is there a place, a room, an area designed for group discussion at Egerton?
Mr. Emmanuel, we are still on the welfare side. We will get to the academy.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yes, Mr. Polycarp.
Yeah, Mr. Balozi, if I have some burning issue. I don't know how my fellow Mr. Njuguna will handle this. I saw 2 days ago in the internet that the Envision Africa, in partnership with Picture Africa, they chose Egerton University to participate in this. Yet you find that our photographers, the students who are photographers, I think they made it clear that the students are the ones who are supposed to participate in this one. Our students who are photographers, you find that anywhere they are in the institution, inside the institution, the security are always, the securities are always like, I don't know how to put it, but they go through a lot, the photographers. You know that the photography is not allowed inside the institution nowadays, not like before. When I joined Egerton University, I think it was free. Yeah, you are to take photos anywhere, everywhere you like. But as we talk now, any photography session inside the institution, the securities will be on your neck. How will we do this? Yet we were picked by this corporation. Yeah. How are we going to go about this, Mr. Njuguna?
Yeah, Mr. Njuguna.
Thank you. I repeat, the greatest problem with Egerton University students is not the administration. We have one of the best administrations. We have a very good student leadership in Egerton University, but we have a problem of ignorance. Balozi, you are a student of media. I'm sure there is, you have your course mates who have cameras within the university. All you need is to go to the security department so that you'll be registered, because you can't allow everyone to have a camera inside the university. You must have a certain order. You must have a certain order, Polycarp. So if you have a student who want to come with a camera within the university, there is a license you should get from the security department. Just as if you want to be driving within Egerton University, if you have your motorbike, you must get a certain license. Because in case something happens, the school need to know who we are going to help, to hold accountable. So if you have that camera, then you come and take photos of everybody irresponsibly. We need to know who did it. Therefore, you must have registered also.
But
Get a
Mr.
license.
Mr. Juguna, let's talk about what...
Gentlemen, it's getting hotter here. Stay tuned with us. It's the big conversation. I'm your host, Balozi. I heard Mr. Njuguna, Mr. Polycarp, and Mr. Emmanuel. They're trying to tell us, explain to us, and maybe prove to us that the Student Governing Council has either worked or has slept at our duty. I was your host. Let's get for a short break. We'll be back in a few moments. Don't go far.
It's me.
We hustle.
We go through.
Access granted.
We win.
We lose.
Access denied. Access denied. Access denied.
In everything, we dust ourselves.
We are the majority.
You want to tell me just what we're dealing with here?
If you haven't guessed by now, I'll tell you who we are.
It's me. Hi.
We are the empowered youth.
On air, underground.
And this is our podcast, the EY Podcast.
I want to recommend very highly Coilib to every youth out there who has an idea that they want to bring on board. This is a place where you'll be incubated, so to say. You, irrespective of how rugged you feel your idea is, you come to this place and we will continuously work on you to make sure that the idea that you have is refined and at least you become the person.
Coilib Incuba. Innovate, invest, incubate.
Coilib for my business has really been a point of growth because I've seen my business move from one point to another. And you know, with Coilib, you get to understand the business aspect of it and how to make money.
Coilib Incuba. Innovate, invest, incubate.
We hustle.
We go through.
Access granted.
We win.
We lose.
Access denied. Access denied. Access denied.
In everything, we dust ourselves.
We are the majority.
You want to tell me just what we're dealing with here?
If you haven't guessed by now, I'll tell you who we are.
It's me. Hi.
We are the empowered youth.
On air, underground.
And this is our podcast, the EY Podcast.
Turn it up. Let the speakers move. Go.
Shabash! Na kama wanavyosema, usijenge ukweni hata kama umeuziwa shamba na baba mkwe. Ndio kauli inayotufungulia vishindo, hoja, siasa, dini, tamaduni, uchumi na mengine mengi yanayohusu vijana, haswa wale wa vyuo. Na maanisha nini? Urejeo mpya wa sehemu ya Meza Moto umedunda tena kila siku ya Ijumaa. Ungana nami Daniel Kihoro ili tusemezane, tuchambue na kudurusu masuala yanayohusu vijana. Na haya yote ni ndani ya runingo ipendayo ya Coilib, ambapo nitakuwa na hodha wako Daniel Kihoro.
Big conversation. It's me, your host. I'm privileged to have Mr. Ayub Njuguna, Mr. Polycarp Oko, and Mr. Emmanuel. Mr. Polycarp, you were issuing some insights, and before I go on, I have one of the student governing body Mr. Gavin Jeru, the Congress CBD, who is saying here from Gavin, for one to be a photographer around the school, you must register with the marketing department and they'll give you a go-ahead. We have photographers who have done the same, but I guess Polycap's photographer is just ignorant. That's a tweet for you.
Thank you, Mr. Balozi. I was talking about the photography. Yeah. Okay. Before the photographers were maybe before they were told to register with the marketing department, I think the security harassed some of our photographers. Yeah. And I can confirm that I was one of the culprits. Yeah. I work with the Kilo Pixels. Yeah. So okay.
Did you register anywhere?
To me, my manager, I don't know, I'm not sure. Yeah, because it's been long. But my manager, I'll check. Yeah, I'll confirm with him. Yeah.
So you even don't know how you came out of the bizarre.
Actually, I didn't know about marketing department. Yeah. So
we can say, as Mr. Gavin has said, you are just ignorant.
This is not ignorance, but the harassment by the security department, it's not good, it's not fair. Yeah, you find that some students, they get their daily bread over this photography. Yeah, so maybe I think because I didn't see any memo about this one. I didn't see. So I have to complain. Yeah, I have to complain. This was not enlightened to maybe to the university students or the photographers, not only for the few. Yeah.
So yours is a cry of despair, and I think Mr. Emmanuel Messiah, you will have to provide insights about this. What's your take, Mr. Emmanuel?
Yes, I agree with what Juguna said, that some students have become, you want to do something, but you are ignorant, and once you are ignorant, then you need to face the consequences of your ignorance. But in addition to that, I also want to say one thing to our leaders, that is based on the channel of communication, the channel of your communication. I think based on this leadership, the way they have been passing the information is wanting. And I think if at all another government should be in, they need to work on how they have been channeling information. I've been a leader for my first, after 1 month, after 2 weeks, I was elected a leader of this campus. And I've been seeing transition of one leader to another and how the information have been passed. In previous years, we had from Sagini, very serious secretary generals who always pass information on time and ensure this information reach all people. And he was doing them from class rep groups. I don't know how they were used to do it, but information was getting everyone. If I compare that with today, we are living in a time that before I know this a message, I need to confirm on some individual's status. Imagine information that should reach the student. As a class leader, I first read it on your status before it reach who? Other students. What if there are some people who doesn't save you? And then later on is when that information is being posted in groups. I want to give you an example. There was a notice that was posted on 5th December that students should not walk on tarmac, but they should walk on the paths. I don't know when did that information reach the student.
Yeah, Mr. Njuguna.
What Emmanuel will agree with me, that letter came from the registrar and not from EUSA. So that is not the problem of EUSA. We agreed we are going to observe.
Just give him time to finish.
Yes, so you are going to say what you are saying after I'm done. Balozi, that letter came from the registrar. I'm not in any capacity to discuss how the registrar should be sending information to students. We have the student portal, the university website, we have the notice board. That is now to the administration. The Secretary General of EUSA is entitled to spread information from EUSA. Yes, the Secretary General is not entitled to give information about when is the graduation, when exams are starting. That is the work of the administration. and how they said the information is up to them, but they always post in the website. So it is up to you, to the student, to go to the website. Don't be ignorant too.
Mr. Polycarp, what's your take?
Yes, I think my fellow here is talking about the communication. Mr. Njuguna, you are saying that maybe the letter or the memo was from the registrar. But how will this letter reach the students? Yeah, I think the student council, the EUSA, is the ones responsible. You should make sure that this letter or the memo reaches out every student in the institution. To me personally, this thing about walking the pavements, not in the tarmac, I just heard it this week from one of my fellow friends. We play with him football there at the pavilion. Yeah, so I didn't receive any memo over this one, and I have no information over this one. I just heard rumors.
Gentlemen, sincerely, we are here to discuss EUSA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I want also to give you have talked about the channel of passive information. I want to give an example of how effective communication can be from EUSA. If I give example from the year 2021, is the first time that they said, if you don't pay your fee, you will defer. I want to tell you, by then SecGen really stressed this issue to the point that those who deferred because of their ignorance, they never complain about the leaders. The reason is, the leaders always tell them, you're going to defer without paying this fee. You are going to defer. So the moment they deferred, they never complain. If I take that example and I put it here now, right now again, there was new policies that were put in place. This new group came in, found it there. Before them, there were notices informing students of what will happen. And me as a father, I have 2 kids. And I know that my kids are so ignorant. And me as a father, I'm their leader. I need to ensure that I do anything possible so that they are not affected by their ignorance. And that's the reason why, as a father, if I know that my child is ignorant, I will ensure that I do A, B, C, D to help my child. That's your child. And us as students of Egerton, our leaders are our fathers. If we are ignorant, what are they doing to help us? Will you say that, okay, this information comes from administration. Administration are passed it from the student. If they fail to see it, it's up to them. Or as leaders, we are going to say that you are SecGen of this association. Information have been passed to this student. The way we know this is student, they may not take this issue serious. What should we do? We need to find some mechanism to strengthen this. Because like for this issue that came up the other semester, students knew what is going to happen. The only thing that was not there, the stress, the leaders to give more energy on it.
Yeah, Mr. Njuguna, what's your insight on this?
Yes. Mr. Balozi, we have the constitutional duties which have been given to EUSA.
Yeah.
We might have EUSA which was there in 2021, and there is the tradition in how they were doing things. Tradition and culture does not translate to constitutionality, however long it stays. If you have a culture of wearing a blue tie, that will never become a constitutional requirement, even if you wear that tie for 100 years. Even if those people are stressing, it is not a constitutional mandate of EUSA. I wish the ignorance that I'm talking about, people would stop being ignorant, go to the EUSA constitution, read their mandate and their functions. They have nothing to do with spreading information from the administration. Once you fail to read the memo, Balozi, don't blame your congressman.
Mr. Njuguna bought my tire. I wish you would have used manual sex.
In that constitution, there is a part of any other duties. And like for me, when I give an example of helping that student, on my duty, I was not supposed, from the constitution, if we go back to it the way I've said, I'm not entitled to do all that I did. Even right now, I wrote a letter to the DVCAA asking them for us, for the teachers for their students, to undergo CBC training because that is what is required on the job market. Constitution of Egerton doesn't allow me. But I'm doing it because I know that's the right thing. Sometimes you say the conscience. Even you as a leader, if you are Egerton leader, you need to know that this is what is right and this is what will help my student. Don't take them that they are, you have known that the Egerton students are ignorant and you have been elected as a leader. We need to end this culture of ignorance. What have you done? Don't just say that, yes, I agree. Our leaders, our students are ignorant. But leaders now, what you need to tell us, that as we are doing ABCD to ensure we deal with this ignorance.
Mr. Emmanuel, you had previously said that, stated somewhere that these current EUSA, to be specific, the director of welfare is taking credits on accounts that she did not work for instance, about the mess. Yeah. What will you have to say on this?
Okay, for example, during the start of this academic year, if I take it from that point, the economy was bad and things were so expensive everywhere. Not only in Egerton environment, but almost everywhere. This made the prices of things to go high almost in every place. And now even here at Egerton, our mess, things were to go high because economy is that way. And as the administration, they knew that this mess is helping the students who are needy. If we made these things to go high, then our students are going to be disadvantaged. For that reason, from the admin, they saw it wise to ensure that the price of things at mess are being reduced. From where? From above. It never happened at Egerton only. If you confirm from KU, they also dropped their things. If you confirm from the UN, they also dropped the prices at mess. When it comes to Egerton, the same thing happened. Yeah.
So what's your point?
So my point is, this is something that the love that administration has for us, they drop this. So when a leader is coming and telling you that, you know what, I've lobbied for this, because we don't know, we are going to clap our hands. But that's the truth.
Mr. Njuguna, issuing our closing remarks because we are close to the end of the show. What do you have for us?
I will repeat myself and say, EUSA is not going to give 100%. And no man, not even the best student, gets 100%. But they have done something for us. What I would want, and starting with the chairman of the ignorant student, Mr. Emmanuel, run away from ignorance, Mr. Barozi, and not even dismantling information and trying to pour the information to the finest particles to a student will make him not be ignorant. Telling me that whenever a memo comes now, okay, I'm a Kikuyu, so that because my students are ignorant, once a memo comes, I should now translate that memo. You know, they will be tired for reading English. I should translate and give them in Kikuyu. That is actually breastfeeding ignorance. And that is not what we are going to do. EUSA is going to do their mandate as it has been prescribed in the constitution of the EUSA 2018, and the students should do their mandate.
Okay, Mr. Polycarp.
Thank you, Mr. Balozi. My friend here, Mr. Njuguna, has just said that let the EUSA run from ignorance of the student. It's okay, the students are ignorant, but I don't know which way they will take to solve this issue of ignorance. I think as a leader, if you have noticed some problem to your subject or from your subject, you should have solutions, and you should set maybe strategies on how to dwell about the problems. I think the EUSA, if I finish, the EUSA should work on the communications to the student, from EUSA to students. They should actually, I was not to talk about this one, but let me bring it up. About the portal closure. I think the EUSA did not direct the freshers, our first year students, well, until at the last minute, some was stranded. They didn't know what to do. Yeah, so I don't know if we can maybe you can give him chance to, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Njuguna, as we close.
I didn't say that EUSA should run away from students' ignorance, and that is also another sign of ignorance. You should ensure as a student you are not ignorant. Once there is a memo, go visit the website. We have memos in our notice board. Go, try read them. That is what we are speaking of, avoiding ignorance.
But what happens to this student who can't access the website or lacks a smartphone?
Balozi, 98%, not even 98, 99.999% of Egerton University students, they have a smartphone. And we have free Wi-Fi. You can go. All you need is to walk to where the Wi-Fi is. Balozi, for 0.0001% that don't have a smartphone, then we have those notices in almost, they have been put in each and every notice board and even in some trees. Balozi, information is everywhere, but the ignorant person, even if you cane them, it won't help.
And for Mr. Polycarp, sincerely speaking, there were notices from the registrar's office informing first years who to clear their household fees. Sure.
Okay.
Speak.
Okay. I've just talked about what I witnessed. Yeah. Okay. That aside, another ignorance noticed from Mr. Njuguna about Wi-Fi. Okay. We just ignored the 0. Let me put them at 0.01% of the student who can't access the internet or who don't have the smartphones. That's now ignorance from EUSA. Let me not dwell on that.
Mr. Polycarp, time is not on our side. I'll give chance to Mr. Emmanuel to issue your closing remark briefly.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. And I was here to shed some light on some of the things that have happened. And I said that I will only base on some of the things that they failed to do. And my friend here have crowned me as the chair of the ignorance, which as a leader sometimes you need to take the crown for your people. Why am I saying this is that if he's the one presenting EUSA, then students will be so disappointed with the EUSA if they hear the word that he said, that they are so ignorant, and that's why they are going through some of the things they are going through. But for me, I thought that the leadership also should come up with things to help the student. And I finish by saying that information, maybe you didn't know, then you need to know and also inform them, your Secretary General, that any information that is being passed on website to students, any information, so long as this information for who? For students, it must first land on the hands of SecGen. Then, SecGen should channel this information to all the class reps. Then, the class rep to channel this information to the WhatsApp group. That's how it is. So even if this information is on the website, I want to confirm to you, even if the staff are being addressed, the information is on the website and also on their department, this information is forwarded to the department. So in terms of forwarding the information, as much as you are saying that the students are ignorant, I want to also confirm that being that you are in Egerton family, then some of the SGC are ignorant. And for us to deal away with it, it starts by us, the leaders, by telling the student what they need to do when they're supposed to do it. And if they fail to do it, you won't be counted responsible. And I finish by saying this. Whatever happened last semester made some people complain about leaders, not because leaders did something wrong.
What is that happened?
What happened in that we say we're not going to talk about academic today, but we're going to talk about it next time.
But if you're not supposed to talk about it, then don't mention it.
What I'm mentioning is, what happened is, many students deferred because they ignored the memo that had been there stating that if you don't do a receipt, you're going to fail. Meaning they have said it's our ignorance. And now my question is, how is our leadership coming in? This is how it's come in. Now, they were supposed to tell us what was going on so that we are aware of it. They never told us what was going on. But they had information. They had information. They know everything. The only thing that happened, the students, I think there was a time that people never knew to the right or to the left. They were that there. So that ignorance is also in terms of passing information from our leaders. And Njuguna, when you go back to them, tell them that they need to work on how they are giving out information before information is passed on WhatsApp status. I've given you the channel if they don't know. Information from chair, it should go to Secretary General. Secretary General should pass it to the class rep, who will channel them to the class.
Well, gentlemen, this was an enjoyable show, and we have come to the end of the show having Mr. Emmanuel assigning some assignment to Mr. Njuguna to actually enlighten some specific groups. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, this was the big conversation. Keep in touch. We were today discussing about the welfare of the comrades. I was your host. I was privileged to have the following guests: Mr. Ayub Njuguna, Mr. Polycarp Ooko, and Mr. Emmanuel Tieno. Till next time, thank you.
We hustle.
We go through.
Access granted.
We win.
We lose.
Access denied. Access denied. Access denied.
In everything, we dust ourselves.
We are the majority.
You want to tell me just what we're dealing with here?
If you haven't guessed by now, I'll tell you who we are.
It's me. Hi.
We are the empowered youth.
On air, underground.
And this is our podcast, the EY Podcast.
Turn it up. Let the speakers move.